How long have you been living in Memphis? So, I've been living in Memphis for all my life. I was born here in Memphis at Baptist, I think. Yeah, Baptist. So I'm currently 16 years old. So, yeah, I've been living all my life here in Memphis for 16 years. How would I describe my daily life here? Well, my daily life, since I am a high school student at Christian Brothers High School, it would usually be, I go to school, do my studies, all of that. I talk with my friends, and then after, I'd either go back home or go to School of Rock, Germantown, where I'd also talk with a bunch of my friends, hang out with them, play music with them, like do my lesson or like rehearsals. And for me, I've really been involved in a bunch of music, and music really makes up my daily life, really. I always be listening to music, can play music, I play guitar, bass, drums, piano, French horn, all that. Just love playing music. So, what role does Spanish play in my daily life? So, really, in my daily life, Spanish it's really just like around the household and around my parents, really, my family. Like, that's really when I talk in Spanish. I mean, I wouldn't say my Spanish is the best, but it plays not a big part in my daily life, but it is significant though. And I basically answered the other one of, where do you use your Spanish the most? I use it at home, since I just really just speak Spanish with my mom and my family. It's kind of a mix of Spanish and English. Do I feel that speaking Spanish is an important part of my identity? To me, yes, I do feel like it is important. I am Mexican American after all, and I feel like to me it is important to at least know Spanish, because I've visited Mexico before, and it is important to me to communicate with my family members who don't know English and are native to Mexico, and their native language be Spanish. So I feel like it is pretty important speaking Spanish, and it's important in my identity because it is a language that I have a pretty good understanding and can speak it decently. So I'd feel like it's an important part of my identity. Have I ever felt that speaking Spanish changes how people treat you? I've I don't really feel like it makes a difference to me, because I do speak in Spanish. Like, whenever my mom calls me or whenever I'm around my mom, like, it doesn't give a change at all, based off my experiences. Like, to some of my friends, it's like, cool, like, oh, cool, you can speak more than one language. Yeah. Yeah, I can speak 3 languages, and I'm learning another one, Japanese. But overall, I feel there hasn't been really any changes when it comes to speaking Spanish, other than like people saying, oh, you can speak Spanish, that's cool. Do I feel comfortable speaking Spanish in public? For the most part, I do feel comfortable with speaking Spanish, because Spanish to me, it is important, since it is a language I use to communicate with my family. So I wouldn't feel ashamed or anything about it. I'd feel comfortable and, just like talking Spanish in public, because to me, I don't really care what others think if I do speak Spanish or not, because I just use it to talk with family. Do you think younger generations are maintaining Spanish or losing it? I feel like kind of we're losing Spanish, because based off my experiences, I feel like we have been losing like the younger generations have been losing Spanish as really in based off my experiences. When I remember when I was in elementary school, I used to speak Spanish very fluently, but now it's like it's decent. Like I was really enforced to like speak English a lot, and it did dismotivate me to stop speaking Spanish a bit, or like focus on English, since live in America, born in America, of course, gotta speak English. So yeah, what factors do you think influence that? I feel like, to me, factors that influence this, like maintaining Spanish, I feel like for sure with school, as public schools, just really any school here in America, like wants, like special like elementary, just you have to learn English. You have to know how to read, write, understand it. So I feel like that this motivates Spanish a bit, especially since it's really important to know how to speak English in here in America. Do I think the current political climate affects how people use Spanish? Yes, I do feel like it is. I feel like the current political climate does affect how people use Spanish, because in the America we live in, like some people are scared to like even speak Spanish, because they might think, so someone's gonna report them, say they're an undocumented immigrant. Like, I can get that the current administration we have, the current political climate, will definitely show fear in like Spanish speakers, specifically native Spanish speakers. And it could really like lead to Spanish speakers like hiding that they can speak Spanish, or like they are like native to Spanish speaking countries, or like have heritage from Spanish speaking countries. Have I noticed fear or insecurity in the community? And how does it affect their daily life? So, as I've said in the previous question, in my previous answer, I feel like it does bring fear and insecurity to the community, because, as I said, like this current administration that we have is like has been cracking down, specifically like Spanish speakers have been a pretty big target of this classification of undocumented immigrants, like with the situation we have, all that, the fear of deportation, the fear of just like being kidnapped by masked men who are supposedly working for the government. Like, yeah, that's pretty scary. Like, I'd be scared too. Like, I would be scared too as well. That, like, I understand that it does bring fear and insecurity. Just because you know how to speak Spanish and you are a native speaker. And really, how does it affect daily life? Well, I feel like how it affects daily life is, every day people are scared to even go outside their house, because they might think it might be their last day before being kidnapped and sent to wherever deportation center. So I do feel like it does bring fear and insecurity to the community, and it can really affect daily life to many people. How do you guys see the future of Spanish in Memphis or the Mid-South? To me, I feel like the future of Spanish should keep on being strong and, persevere. Definitely we should persevere and keep a sense of identity and in the Hispanic community and really in Spanish speakers here in Memphis in the Mid-South, especially in the times like these. There's been a rise in protests and speaking out. So I feel like our future future of Spanish in Memphis and the Mid-South would definitely be like a hub where we'd be standing up, speaking out, and uniting the community and bringing a sense of hope that Spanish will stay strong in Memphis and the Mid-South. What do I think would help maintain Spanish in the community? I feel like for sure would definitely be a change in the current political administration we have, bring more sense of security, like a sense of safeness. I feel like that would definitely help maintain Spanish, and really also just encourage the younger generation to learn Spanish and keep on speaking Spanish, because I feel like that is really important to know how to speak Spanish, especially if you live in a Hispanic household. It is really important to communicate with family members. So I feel like what would definitely help is just a sense of safe and security in the community, and also encouragement to the younger generation to maintain Spanish in the community.